What would you like to talk about today?
Well, it has been a really rough week. Things weren't going really well at home. And, well, my husband and I lost our temper with each other.
Okay.
Things got a little out of hand.
Okay. What were you arguing about?
Oh, stupid things, just, like my car, the light went on in my car and I had to have it checked and we just put a lot of money into it. And my husband wasn't real sure we should do that and just frustrated, and we can't afford a new car, so we have to fix the car we have. There's just no way around it. He wasn't so sure about that. Or maybe he just wasn't so happy about it.
Okay. Do you fight about money a lot? Is that an overarching issue?
I wouldn't say we fight about it a lot, but when we fight, it's usually about money.
Okay. Is it usually those sides he's not sure you should spend and you think you should?
Or I already have. And he's not happy about it.
How does that make you feel?
Well, when it's something that we need to have, it makes me feel like it doesn't matter to him that we need it. And sometimes, it may be that it wasn't something we really didn't need, or it wasn't something we really needed and I thought we did, and so that upsets him. I can understand that sometimes, but he just tends to overreact, I think.
So what I think you're saying is that, sometimes you think that something is a big deal and it needs to get resolved, and your husband maybe invalidates those feelings and tells you that it's not really necessary right now.
Yes.
Have you talked to him about that?
Well, I've told him that it would be nice if he understood my point of view about things,
Okay.
but sometimes he can be really stubborn.
How else can he be stubborn? In what situations?
Well, when he wants something, he doesn't talk to me about it. He just goes and does what he wants. And then if I question it, he gets his back all up and stands his ground. So he can be really stubborn that way.
So he thinks that he is the decision maker for most of the things that you all do, or what needs to be done and what.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I think so.
You said that the week had been rough. Was there anything other than the two of you arguing, getting upset, that's going on?
Well, there were just some things that weren't going right, the dog got sick, the air conditioner went out for a while. Things looked like they were going to be a lot worse than they really were, so in the end, it wasn't as bad as it seemed when we were going through it, but when we were going through it, it was pretty bad, and we both just got really frustrated and a little out of hand.
So there's been a lot of stress this week.
Yes.
A lot of stressors.
Yes.
How are you handling it?
Well, I tend to just sleep on it or talk to myself about it. I don't talk back to him a lot. It doesn't do any good.
What do you mean?
Well, it seems like he doesn't listen.
Does he not respond to you when you're speaking, or does it feel like the conversation is just not worth having?
It doesn't change anything.
Okay.
And sometimes he just gets really loud and belligerent, so why should I put myself through that?
Well, I think that's all the time that we have for today.
Okay. Thanks.
I hope that was enough time. I'm not really sure.
I think you got a couple minutes out of it.
Yeah.
This one sounds like a jerk.
I was gonna say, honey, it's all fiction.
So obviously this is my mom, and my dad's over there.
And it was all fiction. And we did have a bad week because things were going wrong, but none of them were as big as they seemed. And we didn't fight over it because we don't fight.
So I know that I knew going into this assignment that nonverbal signs are usually not an issue for me. I find myself nodding as people are talking in the classroom and normal conversations at work. That's how I project to whoever I'm speaking to that I'm listening and processing what they're saying. I notice I talk with my hands a bit, and I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. Tried to focus on questions that start with how or what and not why. Doing this on the spot made me a little nervous, and I know that at a certain point, and I'm sure you'll see it, I don't remember what I asked. Oh, when I asked about how the rest of the week had been, it was because I blanked and I wasn't sure what to ask next about their arguing. And so
It was a good question.
about the rest of the week, yeah. I felt like it needed to be delved into more, but I didn't know how to do that. And we ended up getting back around to it anyway, which was good, but I recognized that I had blanked instead of continuing further than I felt I should have. I tried to focus on asking open-ended questions instead of closed-ended questions, which is a lot easier said than done. I'm trying to think of what else we've been talking about. Doing a little bit of reflecting and summarizing, repeating back to her what she was saying to me about stressors and how their conversations go, how she's feeling dealing with her husband and having those conversations. So I think a lot of it went well. I think it's definitely something that you have to get comfortable doing. And especially when you're trying to focus in on a specific issue or, something that you really want to dive deeper into, you just have to get used to developing the right kind of questions. But, okay. Thanks.
I think you did.
Cool.
And it wasn't rehearsed, and you didn't know ahead of time what I was going to bring up.
Yeah.
So good.